In the distant kingdom of Phrygia, the god Dionysus was looking for his loyal drinking companion, whose name was Silenus. Silenus was also the teacher of the gods and the father of creation. Silenus was considered a wise man, but it was when he was drunk that he gave his best lessons, in addition to obtaining the power of prophecy. The peasants found the wise old man passed out in the forest after an episode of drunkenness. They brought him before King Midas, who recognized him immediately and received him with all possible hospitality. They were days of celebration and festivities in honor of the illustrious host. The god Dionysus was overjoyed to see that his former companion was being well treated by his host. He expressed his gratitude to King Midas and offered to grant any wish Midas had. Without much thought, the ambitious Midas quickly chose his wish, that everything he touched would turn into gold. Dionysius asked, "Are you sure about this?" "Yes, of course. I will be the richest man who ever lived," Midas replied. As per his promise, Dionysus granted the wish, although he regretted that Midas had not made a wiser choice. Midas, eager to test his new power, picked up a small stone from the ground, and it instantly transformed into a nugget of gold. Full of euphoria, Midas began to touch various things, and everything acquired the golden glow of gold. At one point, Midas felt hungry and decided to eat an apple. When he touched the fruit, it became a replica of the golden buds in the gardens of Esperad. The clever Midas decided to try a new approach. He took a fork that instantly turned golden and stabbed it into a piece of bread. The king put the fork in his mouth, and when he tried to bite, he felt his tooth break. The bread had also turned into gold. The king realized that what he thought was a gift had become a curse. Midas felt that his end was inevitable, as he would die quickly, and he fell crying onto the dining room table. The king's daughter arrived at the palace and saw her father crying on the table. In an attempt to comfort him, she touched her father's hand. Midas watched in horror as his daughter turned into a golden statue. In desperation, he knelt and begged the god Dionysus to take away that terrible power. The god took pity on Midas, since he had no intention of causing harm to him or his daughter. Dionysius asked the king to bathe in the waters of the river Pactolus, and while he was in the water, to ask that the power of his touch be taken away from him. Midas immersed himself in the waters, and the riverbed was covered with golden sand, and the scales of the fish also began to shine like gold. Finally, the king was freed from the curse, and everything he touched returned to normal, including his daughter. After this traumatic experience, Midas began to reject wealth and decided to live simply and humbly in the fields and forests.